Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest, the one and only Bobby Brooks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all doing? It's a beautiful day and shit.
Yes, it is. It is. Yesterday was actually raining. I was trying to go swimming yesterday, and it was like completely downpour. I just came back from Spokane. I was on a 2-week
Okay, there you go.
camping trip, and it was 100 degrees there.
Hey, I bet. Yeah, the east side is hot. I got some people that are living over like in Pasco and like Yakima and stuff like that. And they were talking about like 102 and all that. Like that, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then come back here and it's raining. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Still
yeah.
Washington, it's weird.
Right. In like the middle of August too. That's like what gets me. It's like, I mean, I get the rain, like during like the fall and winter and all that other shit, but bro, give us the summer. At least.
I know.
Especially in 2020. Like, man, we need something.
For sure, man. So yeah, I saw on your Instagram that you went to some of the protests. Like, what were your opinions on all that?
Could you be more specific? Like opinions on
how Seattle handled it, like with Chaz and Chop. Like I interviewed Martial Law Band, and everyone has like a different perspective on everything that's going on. Some people were at the protests to just feel like they're a part of something. Some people actually were protesting because of Black Lives Matter. What was the reasons for you being there?
My reasons, so quick little backstory. Growing up, I grew up in a like Everett, kind of like east of Everett, if you are familiar with that area and stuff like that. So it was like largely, like when I was young, it was a lot of like Latino, Mexican, and Black kids and white kids. But then as I, got older and stuff like that, there was less and less like diversity and, gentrification all happened and everything like that, right? Everybody moved out and, moved further south and moved further north. So I went through a lot of just racism, discrimination, in schools, friends, sports. I've been called every single name in the book. I was probably called every single name in the book by the age of 10, that type shit. So when all this happened, it was like there was no second guessing. I'm just like, bro, like I have to be there. Like that could have easily been me. I've had run-ins with the police where I'm putting handcuffs in, but thank God to, my guardian angels and whoever else is looking out for me, nothing happened. I'm still here. But that could have easily been me. That could have easily been my brothers, my sisters, friends, family, so yeah, it was like I had to be there. Call to action.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I had this interview like less than a month ago, and the person had like made a song about everything that was going on. So I was like, oh, this is a perfect chance just to talk to them about their opinions. They're from Seattle. And then I wasn't even a deep question that I asked them, and they were just like stuttering because they didn't. Because what I've noticed is like even some artists feel like it's their job to make a song about what's going on, even if they're not really informed. And the question was worded so in a way that it made them so uncomfortable that they decided to cut the interview, and we had to end the interview because they were so misinformed about everything that was going on. I was like, okay, but here are the statistics. So what you're saying doesn't really add up. And they're like, you know what? Can we just cut this? So that's why I felt like asking,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's wild. It's I mean, a lot of people are getting their information from, I want to say our parents' generation. I don't know how old you are. I'm guessing we're close in age. I'm 24. And our parents' generation, they're all getting their information from like CNN, Fox News, and all those news stations that are all controlled by one entity and everything. And so they're all saying the same shit but in different ways, getting different responsive message and everything. And then our generation is getting everything from like Black Twitter and Instagram and all this other stuff, which is great because it's like it's almost unfiltered. It's raw. We're actually seeing real videos and all that other stuff. But at the same time, not a lot of people are doing the background research, the extra research that goes into, like really understanding the depth of the situations and everything. So yeah, no, I definitely feel you. That's frustrating.
Yeah, there's a lot of clickbait too, which is weird. So sometimes Instagram could be cool because you can just see bites of information, but if you're just taking it for the bites versus seeing like the headline and then actually clicking on it, because headlines are really misleading lately.
Very much. I think they always have been. I mean, going back to like propaganda, like in the world wars and everything like that. Like it's all about attracting the viewer that is not trying to pay attention. Grabbing them. So yeah, it's always been clickbait. You know, I think it's always gonna be clickbait. You know,
Hmm.
but shoot, I could be wrong too. Never know.
It's a weird time to make
Yeah,
music, and it's
yeah.
weird because some people they want to, like I said, like some people are making music about what's going on. Some people
Mhm,
are just trying to make music to make people feel happy, and you just have to find your
mhm.
happy medium during this whole thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, like me and a couple friends, we kind of started like a little almost like a support group, and it didn't last too long, but I think it served its purpose. um and we just hit up, like, you know, some other people in our community and in our circles and stuff like that, and organized just like a meetup, and just talking about what's going on and making sense of everything, and what can we do, like what change can we actually enact. And there's a certain laws that we could look at that we can then, you know, attack and help, you know, change or alter or something like that, you know. um, but yeah, you know, like there's always something that we can do within this, or find our kind of groove within the chaos and everything like that. You
Hmm.
know, if that makes sense.
As an artist in Seattle, do you feel like
Mhm.
artists are coming together during this time, or are they kind of separating themselves?
I mean, I can't say yes, but I can't say no, because it's such a weird time, because one, there's no shows happening.
Hmm.
Two, there's no parties happening. And so it's like like we're all divided because of COVID, you know.
Hmm.
So everyone is divided, and then this happens. I think if COVID wasn't here, but we had all the protesting and stuff going on, I think there would be like a lot more connection within the artists, because it's like, damn, we really are one. Like we really got to look out for each other, and you know, we're in this together type shit. You know, like kumbaya type shit. You know, but
Yeah, yeah,
due to COVID, I haven't seen it. Maybe there is, but I haven't seen it myself, so I can't say
yeah.
no or yes.
I get that. I've seen like some weird shows. Like there's like some outside shows that I've been seeing,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I saw like some like Black Lives Matter shows, which I thought was interesting.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's weird that because that's how a lot of people meet other people, like through concerts and stuff. So not being able to
For
do
sure.
that can be pretty difficult for some people.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
But like everyone's had to adapt. Like for me, what I've been adapting by is by like doing everything over Zoom. Like usually
Hmm.
I'd be going to my studio or the radio station, and like
Hmm.
it only took me like 2 weeks into quarantine to realize that just sitting around wasn't going to do anything. So I had to, even if it's
Right.
just over Zoom, I had to do something. So what about you? What have you been doing to
Exactly.
adapt?
Well, luckily, I found a job. Right, like the week before everything went to lockdown, I found a job. And so I just been doing that, and then also like having the studios locked down and everything. That was crazy within itself, because I had my album in the studio. We didn't send it out to get mastered or anything like that yet, and so it was sitting in the studio. Studio's locked down. Couldn't get it. Couldn't access it for like 3 weeks. My mom was stressing. But going back to what I was doing, um, just been writing music. You know, just writing music, and getting everything, you know, ready for when things do open up. You know,
Mhm.
so like my entire team, we're just planning right now and organizing.
Yeah,
So.
that's good. That's really good,
Hmm.
dude. I don't know why I brought this up, but I've been like doing like a lot of research on like Kanye West and stuff, especially because
Yeah.
there's no way he's gonna win the election. But I just think it's fun to
Yeah,
like
for sure not.
go through different like rabbit holes through artists. And like one thing that I
Hmm.
found was that him, Pharrell, and Lupe had like a they had like a hip hop group they formed, and they never
Hmm.
released a full album, but they released like 3 singles, and it was called Rebel Soldier. So the Child was
Interesting.
Lupe Fiasco, the Rebel was Kanye, and the Soldier
Right.
was Pharrell. It was actually pretty sick. But
Wow.
what I also noticed, because my family, like, they hate Kanye, they think he's just a total idiot, and
Right. Right.
they're always like, he doesn't even write his own music. Have you looked at the credits? And like if you look on any of the credits for any song, like it's like 10
Right.
people. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So it's weird to think, like, I think what probably happens is like artists when they first start out
Mhm.
is they probably write all their own music. But
Mhm.
then once they get into the industry, then I feel like that's when writers like start helping them out. But I don't know. It was just
Mhm.
weird to think that like someone so big has that many people helping them.
Yeah. Yeah. That is really weird. I mean, even on Michael Jackson stuff, because I took a look at my mom had a whole bag of just records from like the 70s and 80s and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
So I was going through it, and I flipped over Michael Jackson's. I think it was what was it, Bad? I want to say. And on one of his songs, like he just had a whole bunch of writers. Same with Tupac, a whole
Mm.
bunch of writers, on it. But who knows what they were actually contributing? It could have been like he was rapping in the studio or something like that. Like Tupac was rapping in the studio, and then like the writer's sitting on the couch, and he's like, "Hey, actually say this like this."
Mm-hmm.
It'll flow a little bit better. And then he was like, okay, yep, I'll take that. And then boom, like it's so easy to get onto credits just being in a studio session. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
all you had to do, just be there sitting in that studio session, and your name will somehow end up on the credits because you were there.
Mm.
It's really weird how that works.
Yeah, I guess it's better than pulling like a Drake where you don't put the credits on and then like win a Grammy and then there's
Right.
fucking like lawsuits against you. So
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, give credit where credit is due,
yeah, for sure. So
Yep.
when did you start writing music?
Man, I've been writing music for years. I first started back in third grade. Um, I I remember I remember the first time I was on my way to school. It was I was listening to Eminem's uh what was that? What was that album? It was like him on a stage. It was like
Oh, is that the one?
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What's the fucking name? I know that album too. I don't even remember the
Yeah.
title of that one.
Same.
Shit.
Like I
Like
know
the
front to
Red
back.
Curtains.
Yeah, exactly. Was it the show or something like that?
I
I don't
forget.
know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. But yeah, I was listening to one of the songs on there, and like I just like I got out my composition book from school and I started writing, and trying to write, but I remember being frustrated because I didn't know how to do it, so I just stopped doing it. But I
Mm.
had like some stuff written out. I wish I can go back and find that journal just to see what the hell a third grader was rapping about at the time. But yeah, so started then and then stopped for a while actually until about like senior year, which was like 2013. Um, and then just picked it up. Took a trip to California by myself. I was bored out there. I was hearing Ty Dolla Sign's that song Paranoid. Like I'm
Yeah.
paranoid, I'm tripping, yeah. And everybody was playing that shit out there. And I was like, what the fuck? If he can do it, I can do it. And so I just picked up my fucking phone, found a beat, and I started writing, and the rest is history. I've been writing ever since.
Damn, because of
So
Ty Dolla Sign. Wow.
yeah, Ty Dolla Sign. Yeah, crazy.
Dude, I have like a theory that like he's basically like Nate Dogg. If you think about it,
Facts.
he's had the exact same features as Nate Dogg. He's even worked with Warren G and Snoop Dogg. Like Snoop Dogg
Really?
helped him rise to fame. YG, all those guys from like California.
Right.
And like he's like one of like the best hooks right now, like lately. Well, not
Yeah.
lately, the past like probably like 10 years.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Definitely. Definitely. Wow. And see, like I didn't know about like the features and stuff like that, but to go back and look at that, like I
Mm-hmm.
believe in reincarnation. I believe in people picking up other people's energy that have deceased and everything. That'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy like rabbit hole to dive
I know,
into.
dude.
You know? Yeah. That's
He's a sick
wild.
guy too, dude. I love his music.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah. And it's always been unique. He's always carried his sound. Like a lot of artists change over time, but he's stayed the same in the sense of always being him,
Mm-hmm.
and like making his own sound and perfecting that and moving forward.
Yeah, for
Love it.
sure. So are you still currently in Everett right now, or where do you live now?
Yeah. Still currently out here.
Oh,
Yep.
cool, dude. I recently moved up to Snohomish, so that's not that far.
Oh, for real? Got you. Where at the Snohomish?
So it's in between. It's far enough up in the woods that it's Snohomish, but like the closest
Uh-huh.
city to me is Monroe.
Okay,
That makes
got
sense.
you. Yeah. Do you know where Machias is?
Yeah, I know that road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up out in I grew up out in Snohomish, but I say Everett just because people are like, where the fuck is
Mm,
Snohomish? And I'm just like, yeah, let's just say Everett.
yeah.
But like where like the Rite Aid is and like the skate park and stuff like that?
In Monroe or
Snohomish.
no, I don't know Snohomish that well yet. I still need to learn
Okay.
more about it.
Got you. But yeah, I used to live over by the high school.
Okay,
So yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
dope.
small world, man. Yeah, small world.
So when it comes to like because when I first started the podcast, what I noticed was that like like the divide we were talking about between different artists, and yeah, probably COVID probably hasn't helped that much with the
Right.
divide. But when I interview like a few people from Everett, what they say is a lot of them don't ever really come down to Seattle at all to work with like Seattle
Mm.
artists. Do you do that? Are you able to work with Seattle artists, or do you kind of stick up to Everett also?
When I first started, my all of my shows were in Seattle. So like I've always been working with artists from Seattle and doing shows or interviews or meetings and stuff like that, always in Seattle.
Hmm.
Um, I never really thought about that. That a lot of artists out here usually stick up in whether it's Marysville or Lake Stevens or Everett or something like that. Um, but yeah, I've always migrated out there just because it's just more. You're gonna get more out of it. You know, you're not gonna get
Hmm.
much staying out here. You know.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard to be a rapper if you're living in the woods or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You ain't gonna meet nobody, you know. But like, yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, it's just because like Seattle, that's where you want to be anyways. That's like where
Mhm.
that's where all the venues are. Like, of course, there's probably like smaller ones and like all the way up in
Mhm.
Everett even or Tacoma, but
Yeah.
Seattle has all the major venues. That's where all the major artists
Mhm.
come from. Like, if you want to ever like get onto like a show with a major artist, you're not going to
Mhm.
see a major artist up in fucking Everett, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, this whole quarantine thing is just it's weird. I've been trying to do my best to like help connect artists, but what I've also noticed is that a lot of like bigger artists, like and mainstream artists, they're in the same boat as us. So it's easy as
Mhm.
fuck just to reach out to those guys because they have no
Exactly.
reason to say no either. You know.
Exactly, exactly. And that's like why me and my team right now we're just trying to build up as much content as possible, and eventually, because I'm guessing that we're gonna go back into like another lockdown, another quarantine, you know, like come like winter time or something like that. And so by that time we're gonna have so much built up that like we're gonna start reaching out to like just different artists and different platforms and stuff like that. And by that time it's everyone's sitting. I mean, just like you said, everyone's sitting. Everyone is doing nothing pretty much. No one's doing shows. No one's on the road. No one's flying somewhere. So it's gonna be easy to, get shit going. Hopefully.
Yeah, like if you're not releasing content right now, then you
Hmm.
need to be releasing any type of content. So with your new
Yeah.
project, did you release? When did you release that?
July 10th.
July. Yeah. See, that's during
Yeah.
this whole fucking quarantine shit.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So what was the process behind that? I listened to it. I loved it. I like the
Thank you.
what's that one song? You put the like you put a snippet of it up on Instagram where you guys are all dancing. I completely forget the name of that
Um.
song now.
Was it
Shit, let me
like
pull
on
it
my
up.
story?
No, it was on your. Let me find it. God, it's like this. I was playing this song a lot actually. One second.
Oh.
Bobby Brooks. So Bobby Brooks, is that your stage name or is that your real name? You just use it as your stage name also.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my real name. Yeah.
Oh wow, Bobby Brooks. Kind of sounds like a porn star almost. Stop.
Hey, you never know.
I think it's the Stop Pose song. I like that song a lot.
Yeah,
Stop.
thank you.
Pose.
Kind of ain't raw. Hey, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That one. Honestly, because when I first wrote it, I had a different beat to it. It was more so like a rock type of like Juice World type of like vibe to it and everything, and it was
Mhm.
really slow. I didn't like it. Me and a friend were sitting down listening to it, and we're like, yeah, man, this it's there, but it's not all the way there yet. And so, I got back in the studio. One of my homies had a beat and started rapping over it, using those lyrics, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This
Mhm.
is it. So we, yeah, threw that down, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, I noticed throughout your catalog that you kind of do go through like a little Juice World phase, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's more like trap, sometimes it's more fun. So
Mhm.
is Juice World like one of your inspirations then, or?
Um, in a way, yes. But at the same time, I like the rock. The rock sound really comes from growing up listening to. I mean, we had all these alternative bands growing up, and also my parents because they're super avid, music listeners and stuff like that. So their time was like the '80s and
Mm.
glam rock and all that stuff. So I grew up listening to all of that as well, and so all of that plus the early 2000s of like, I mean, I hate to say it, but Green Day, Yellow Card, um, trying to think, Rascal Flatts, um, fucking Linkin Park, like just all these
Linkin
different
Park.
bands and everything like that, right? Just all mixed together. Yeah, yeah, all mixed together. So that's kind of like that sound of where that sound comes from.
Hmm.
So
So for you, how long does it take you to like write a project and put it out? Like, what was the process behind this album or project?
um, this this project actually took probably the longest out of anything that I've done. It was 14 months. But that's
Mm.
also because we were locked out of the studio as well, and we weren't able to actually get to it. So I would say in a total, it was like 12 months of writing. Um, but the process is usually I'll start with one song, and this was kind of unplanned, but I started with one song, and then just the sound of that song, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to build a project around that song because this song, the sound of it has a story to it, and I have a story that I want to tell. And the story behind this project was just my time when I was young, just being in the streets, doing what I was doing, and then coming out of that, and now almost like turning my life around and just having a better focus and better vision on what I want and where I'm going and everything. But I got all of that from that one song. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, dude. There was I've like I do. I think I do a lot of research on every single guest. I listen to every single album, single, and I definitely have seen the
Hmm.
progression and the growth. So I think
Thank
it
you,
was a great album to put out during this whole time. So
thank you,
what
appreciate
about
that.
this? What about the space theme? What was that? What was the concept behind all that with the album cover?
Um, Man, because I'm really a space cadet at the end of the day, and when I say that, I mean like I'm not. I don't feel like I'm from here. I know I'm not from here. You know, um, and astrology has always been super big for me. Paying attention to. I know some people, may think it's corny. Some people may not believe it. Whatever. But for me, astrology and zodiac signs are big, and just looking at the stars and just paying attention to the entire world that's around us, because like we're just a small little significant dot in the
Mhm.
so that was kind of like the inspiration behind it and like surfing through that, but also still, you know, catching the vibes and shit. So
Hey, I get
yeah.
it. That's a perfect explanation.
Thank you. I was like, man, I hope that shit hit. But
Yes, it
yeah.
does. I feel like my favorite way to think about it is like we're like, have you seen Horton Hears a Who?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're like that fucking speck on the dandelion.
Exactly, exactly. Like so like insignificant, bro. Like it's crazy, it's crazy. Let me ask you, do you watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I just finished the final because I just finished the final, what is it? Final season, the season 4, right? Like
Okay,
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's like one of my favorite shows just because it's like it deals with stuff that's on Earth, but it's so just out there
Hmm.
and for whatever reason, like my mind meshes with that. It's like they could be messing with some like aliens in like galaxy number 007 like Glomnom or something like that, right?
Oh
But
no.
like yeah, but like the shit makes sense. So I'm just like, okay, yeah. Like I'm vibing to it. But yeah.
Yes. That is a pretty fucking good show.
Right. Hella good show. The writing is crazy. They are under like some fire though, which is
Oh, he's like,
yeah.
didn't the creator like rape a teddy bear or some shit, supposedly? I didn't.
Yeah, like he had a show in like 2009, and in the show he was time traveling and raping the babies that would soon be rapists of other people. And so like on paper that may have made sense, but like in reality, bro, what you doing? Like that's crazy.
I, I can't-
Yeah,
how does no one awkwardly not laugh? Like you have to awkwardly laugh at
exactly.
that. I don't know how you get offend. I guess I don't know. You can't think too deeply about shit like that. It's just.
Exactly, exactly. And it was in 2009, bro. Like, if you remember, like that time period, that was like when like Step Brothers came out and like all
Mm,
that other stuff, like raunchy comedies and shit. And so like boundaries were being pushed and people were just saying like reckless stuff. You know what I mean? So like you can't go back in time I don't know. This is my perspective. You can't go back in time to try to cancel someone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, or at least like 10 years back. Like, no, like that's a
Mm-hmm.
different time period. You know.
If it is like I was listening to, actually, one of my favorite movie soundtracks is the fucking what is it, Bad Boys 2? I forget when that movie came out, but that's the soundtrack to that is amazing. And I was listening to it,
Oh yeah.
and like Jay-Z's on there, Snoop Dogg's on there, like all the biggest rappers at the time were on that. Memphis Bleak was on there, Freeway.
Mm-hmm.
So Jay-Z had like this one bar about, somehow it was like a really homophobic bar about
Mm-hmm.
not being gay or some shit. And I was like,
Right.
see,
Right.
this made it onto a movie soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone watched this movie. This was a huge blockbuster movie. It was
Mm-hmm.
obviously in the movie, and no one gave a fuck. And
Right. Exactly.
still no one's talking about it. It was just some song I decided to listen to one day, and I heard him say
Mm-hmm.
that. So, but why does
Right.
that
Right.
not come under fire? Like, no, like I don't think the music or movies really care about it that deeply. It's just like the culture
Yeah.
we're in today.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what's weird. It's like picking and choosing what you want to cancel and stuff like that. Cause yeah, music is it's always been it still is like there's still artists that say faggot or refer to like people as like queers and just like other stuff just like stuff that wouldn't be okay in like PC world today,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still rapping about it, but they're not under fire for it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. It doesn't make sense,
Yeah,
But
but I feel like
yeah,
music's like more vulgar nowadays. Like people used to be like, "Dude, NWA, that shit is so hard
right,
and like offending."
right,
I feel like mainstream songs today, even
yeah,
stuff like Ty Dolla Sign says is fucking like
yeah,
can be taken like
exactly,
offensively, but everyone's just rocking out to that shit. I'm like, what the fuck
exactly,
is going on?
exactly. No, it's wild. It's wild. Like, do you listen to Sada Baby?
I've
Have you
heard a
heard
few
him?
of their songs. Yeah.
So like his music is like I love it. I'll smash down the freeway to it, going like 85, 95, something, But like what he's talking about is crazy. Like I can't like quote his lyrics right now, but yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
It's weird. It's fucking really weird. So when you say you have a team, do you have like a manager and everything like that, or how do you break down your
Um,
team?
yeah. So I have a videographer. Shout out Mikhail. He be coming out here and stuff like that. Shooting a lot of photos and videos like that for different people.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also got a business partner. And other than that, that's like really it. I really be doing kind of everything, like all the back end work, like all the networking and reaching out and stuff like that. Just myself. I've had managers in the past. I've had I don't even want to say like accountants, but like people that help me just like manage like different aspects of my career. But I just kind of found out that it just wasn't working. Not everybody's on the same page, especially out here. A lot of people say that they're about the work, about the just the time that it takes, but when it comes down to it, they're not. Everybody has like their own agenda, um, and so it's really hard just to get on the same page. So I said, fuck it, let me just do it. Let me just do it
Mm-hmm.
myself. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Something that I've been seeing people do is like on their fucking like either Snapchat or Instagram or whatever social media. People are like, "Don't talk to me if it's not about a check," and they're working at like Foot Locker or some shit.
Right.
And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, no, you need a check. Like, yo, yeah, that's just crazy. It's like I don't know, people lying and I blame the music culture for this too because like rappers always be saying that type of shit. You know what I mean? So and then it trickles down into like normal everyday society. Um, like even girls say that. Yeah, no, that's a really good point, bro. Like people be saying this shit, and I'm just like, bro, yeah, you're working at Foot Locker. Chill out.
Mm, it's
Like
funny
Olive
as fuck.
Garden.
Yeah, Olive
Yeah.
Garden. I've actually never been there though. I've never been to Olive
For
Garden.
real?
Never.
Wow. Wow. Honestly, bro, I can't even hype it up. Like, don't go unless you're just gonna get breadsticks. Don't go. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
trash. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad Italian food. Very bad. Yeah.
What is interesting about like you said like the music industry, hip hop, whatever. It's kind of weird. Like everyone kind of relates to that. So like
Mhm.
anyone feels like they can dress like a hip hop artist or anything like that.
Right.
But
Right.
like even movies, they're kind of like on a lower level or lower class than if you think about like business people. Like you don't see anyone like put on their story them dressed up in like suits, because
Right,
that's
exactly.
like a whole nother like world. Like one of my favorite movies. Have you seen American Psycho with Christian Bale?
No, I haven't. I've seen like the first like maybe 5 minutes, but at the time I just wasn't vibing to it, so I didn't like
Mm-hmm.
fully watch it. But yeah. What
I
about
felt
it
that
though?
too. I like
Hmm.
10 years ago I tried to watch it and I couldn't, and then I just watched it like I've actually watched so many movies during this quarantine. Like I'm still
Yeah,
calling this a quarantine, even though it's not really a quarantine right now. But
exactly. Yeah.
but like he's this like serial killer,
Mhm.
or maybe he's not. That's the twist. I forget, but it's a
Mhm.
very complicated movie. But basically, it's like they're like all his friends are people in like business suits, and they're all going to these like fancy restaurants. And they are like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I have to go to my meeting at this one restaurant, and then go to another restaurant at 8 o'clock, and all that shit."
Mhm.
And it's
Right.
just
Right.
like there's like different like worlds, but everyone tries to be part of this like hip hop music movie
Yeah.
culture world, but no one's
Yeah.
like there's like no millennial anyone talking about, oh shit, I really want to be in that business world who's actually managing like all these artists,
Right.
or
Exactly.
like accountants or anything like that. And those people probably in like in certain situations are making more
Mhm.
money than these artists, which is fucking nuts.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I mean, just to attest to that, I think it's because like with art, with rap and rappers, you see like the glam, you see like the necklaces and like the watches and the money and the girls and everything like that, and you think like, oh man, yeah, he's making the most money, but
Mm,
like in all reality, no, that whoever he signed to is is making a lot of money. Whoever his manager is, whoever like is in the background that you don't see, that's who's making that bread. It's just like with WWE. Now I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's the same principle. Like the network is making all that money,
mm,
not the wrestlers. Whoever
mm,
owns the arena is making that money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I think it's just because people aren't introduced to that world. I think it's rap. The rap world is so pushed that everybody's introduced to it, but like the back end, nobody sees it. If that
mm.
makes sense.
Dude,
So.
I don't even really feel like the general population's actually part of the hip hop world. Cause like
Mhm.
when I listen to music and stuff, like I have 8 different playlists like for my car, and
Uh huh.
each playlist has 500 songs, whether they're old
Interesting.
songs mixed with new songs. And like I'll play some songs that I think everyone knows by like
Mhm.
mainstream artists sometimes even, and
Mhm.
people will be like, "Oh, what the heck is this song?" Like I
Right.
feel like I don't feel like people like seem like they like hip hop, but then when they're
Mhm.
actually by themselves or something, they're listening to fucking country or pop.
Right.
Taylor
Right.
Swift.
Exactly.
They know every
Exactly.
Taylor Swift song, but they don't know every even like Drake or Lil Wayne song even.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, it's definitely a phase for a lot of people. For me, I grew up on, and I love the fact that you mentioned Nate Dogg like earlier on in the interview, because I grew up on like Nate Dogg and the Dog Pound, Snoop. Um,
Do you know? Did you see my cocaine interview?
no, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, dude, he moved to Tacoma, and he's a
Yeah,
part of the yeah. It's crazy.
yeah, that's what I heard. Cause I have a homegirl, that is like close with him because of her group and stuff like that. So she like, I was talking to her about him and everything like that. But yeah,
Mm,
that's crazy. Like LA and Seattle and the Bay are very connected, but also disconnected at the same time.
mhm.
It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you saying? Sorry about breaking you off right there.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, just grew up, like listening to all of that stuff. So like my music choices are ingrained in hip hop. Like it's like when I'm tired, I just want to throw on a song. It's gonna be rap.
Mhm,
It's gonna be rap, but it might be a calmer version, like something like Gunner or something like that, to where it's just like more mellow and just like melodic, and you don't have to listen to it. It's just a vibe, the whole way. Um, but yeah, I really feel like a lot of people don't actually listen to rap, but they listen to it for the popularity factor, if that makes
yes.
sense, to like fit in, so
Mhm.
yeah.
Freaking weird. And dude, have you seen the I don't know if you have Netflix or not, but like Jamie Foxx
Hmm.
just came out this new movie called Project
Oh,
Power. Did
that
you
shit was
watch that?
fire. That shit was fire. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
only complaint I have though, and they did this with Bright also. Do you see Bright
I did see Brian.
with
Yeah,
Will Smith? They like those are like
yeah.
two. They try to make it like two like black stories, kind of like black movies, but
Right, right.
because like the main characters and how they try to make it a black story was by throwing in that hip hop element, and I'm afraid that hip hop is
Right.
going to get to a certain extent where it becomes too whitewashed, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they didn't have to like in Project Power. The only negative I have to say about it is they did not have to have that girl rap in that movie at all, or Jamie Foxx be like, "Your power is
Oh.
rapping." I'm like, what the fuck? You're shooting like heat.
Yeah.
You're shooting heat
Bro,
waves
that
out of
shit
your
was
arms, and you're saying your power is rapping. Like,
right.
what the fuck?
He's like there was really that moment when he was like, "Your power is rapping." Like, yeah, bro, that shit was corny. I didn't register that because like the rest of the movie, it was cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, you're right, bro. That shit was hella whack.
Yes,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Honestly though, like I think it might get to because like rap is a spectrum. Like it goes from like gutter, raw, gangster rap, and then it swings over to like conscious, and it swings over to like melodic and like R&B, and then it swings back again. And
Mhm.
like I think we're in the like we're gonna be swinging back pretty soon because like right now like it's in that R&B where every rapper is pretty much singing.
Mhm.
Like back when like T Pain was doing his thing, you know, auto tune and stuff like that. Like a lot of rappers were having R&B artists on their songs, making the song with it melodic and everything like that, like Flies, you know, and everything. Um, but yeah, I hope it swings back because I like that gutter shit. I like that gangster shit. I like that raw shit, and I think that's the only way that it's not gonna get whitewashed because white folks are not going to relate to that, and they're not gonna want to play that.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be some, but yeah, that's my opinion though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish I understood I've interviewed a few pop artists and I understand pop to a certain
Mhm.
extent, but I wish I understood country and pop a little better. Like are there like subcategories
Mhm.
to that also? Like I feel like in my opinion, I feel like
Right.
hip hop is like the deepest with like all they have there's like subcategories within subcategories even.
Facts.
And I'm like,
Facts.
are all and then when I listen to like a country song, it just sounds like I'm drinking a beer
Right.
and my
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck's what the fuck is
My
this shit?
dear. Yeah. That's facts though. Like I've wanted the same thing. I think there was I don't know if it's still around, but it like in 2015 or 16, it was like called Hick Hop or something like that, where it was
Oh
like country,
shit.
yeah, it was HICK like Hick Hop. And it was country rap. But it was like yeah, that threw me for a loop, but that's like the only sub genre of country that I've like ever heard of, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if they do.
Yeah,
I don't
there is
know.
that is a
I know
thing
Rock
though.
did.
There's a lot of actually country rappers that are not like black. It's not like a Nelly type thing or a Little Nas X thing. It's like
Hmm.
literal like white dudes talking about
Yeah,
kicking it with their bros and drinking beers, and like it's an actual like
yeah,
category. I'm like, what the
exactly,
fuck? Who listens to this shit and actually enjoys it?
exactly, exactly. Well, them people that you see in that video, those are the ones that be listening to it,
they're,
you know?
they're the ones in
Yeah,
Snohomish or something probably.
exactly, bro. Don't get me started. We could definitely talk off air about all that shit. 'Cause, yeah,
It is different
yeah.
though, like since because I grew up in like the Seattle area, so
Hmm.
and then I just recently moved up to Snohomish and like so I was from the
Okay.
city, and now here there's an alpaca farm down the street from my house. There's wild peacocks.
Wow. Yeah.
Like it's like it's a total change, but it's kind of nice
Yeah.
too because my studio is in downtown Seattle, so it's like a
Uh-huh.
commute, but it's like nice to
Yeah.
like be in the city and then get away. Where's your
Exactly.
studio at?
My studio, yeah, is downtown Seattle. So
Mm,
I was working out of the lofts, like the urban lofts down there in like
mm.
Soto. You know where that's at?
Oh yeah. Actually, I do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
right
yeah,
next
yeah.
to. I don't know if you know who Milo Eubank is, but he has a studio,
Mm.
the Rainier Building down there.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there's like a whole bunch of like working lofts down there in that area. So my studio was out there. But yeah, I
Uh-huh.
mean, same to you. Like, it's nice to go to the city, get all my work done, make my connections, talk to who I need to talk to, and then get back and like just be around trees, like quietness, little lights and just like the night sky. Like there's something about that, you know. Kind of
Yes.
brings peace to the day.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I'd want to ever live like in an apartment in Seattle. It's probably
I
noisy
couldn't.
24/7.
Exactly, exactly. Like the people that like live, because there's apartment buildings that are right next to Cal Anderson Park,
Hmm.
like where the Chaz Zone was and everything.
Yeah.
And I bet they were just going through it because it was
Mm.
loud. Like I don't know if it still is. I haven't been back to Capitol Hill or anything, but I know they're going through it.
Hmm.
It's
I
wild to
went
me.
up. I went about like a month ago after like all the
Hmm.
protests died down.
Hmm.
Do you know any like the hype beef shops like Buffalo Exchange
Yeah,
or Lucky Dog?
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
So I went into
Yeah, that's like
Lucky
Cuban
Dog.
shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
I went to Lucky Dog, and no, first, well, I did like this whole. I just did this whole like adventure throughout Seattle. Like we
Hmm.
had like I had like sushi down near the Target in downtown Seattle. There's like this nice sushi
Okay.
restaurant, and then after that, I went to the UW to go to like Lucky Dog and Buffalo Exchange. I got
Yeah.
Yeezy Power Phases, like they're like
Really?
brand new for like $70. I was like,
At the
damn.
at the Buffalo Exchange?
At Lucky Dog, and that was like the cheapest.
Oh
At Lucky
wow.
Dog, they over it's like a thrift shop still,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they sometimes they overprice their shit. And I was like, 70
Hmm.
bucks for these Power Phases, I have to get them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. That's like who else does that? I know I don't really shop at Urban Outfitters, but I mean I'll go there if I have to get something and I'm like in a rush and I know like I know they're gonna have something, but Urban Outfitters, they overprice like a motherfucker. But it's
Mm-hmm.
all like thrift store clothes and shit. Like I could find it at a thrift
Yeah,
store. You know what I mean?
dude.
But
Yeah, I
yeah.
found a freaking Barney's in New York jacket, like a
Uh
jean
huh.
jacket at a thrift store like last month also for $30.
Wow.
I was like, and I got it. I
Wow.
had to.
Yeah, yeah, bro. That's clutch. That's a clutch
Hmm.
find. That's a clutch find.
But
Yeah, fucking oh go ahead, go ahead.
oh yeah, but I was just saying. But anyways, like then like that weekend after I had left Seattle after that adventure, there was like protests
Hmm.
again. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Like it was kicking off for a minute. Like there was a lot of protests in the South End, there's a lot of protests downtown. Oh, and going back to it, there was a lot of white people there that weren't there for the right reasons. And that's
Mm,
what frustrated me. Like I only went one time because there was just a high chance of shit going down. Excuse me, of shit going down just because there was people there strictly for just like their anarchy fantasies and shit like that, bro. Like throwing like Molotovs at fucking cop cars, throwing M80s at cops and stuff like that. Like, bro, like you're doing too much, and that's not why we're here. Like,
mm,
we're not here to take over the fucking city or like trash shit. We're here to strictly just get our point across.
mm,
But everybody has their own agenda. So
yeah. Dude, I
yeah.
I don't know if you listen to podcasts at all, but I listen to Joe Rogan like
All the
literally
time,
like
bro.
24/7, bro.
Every day, every day. Yeah.
And he fucking I feel so bad. He like in every like all the later like the past month, every single episode he brings up fucking Seattle and Portland and just trashes us. I'm like, holy
Right,
shit.
right. But like he has like the outside perspective because like he's not actually up here. And it's
Mhm.
funny hearing people that aren't up here talk about like the Chaz zone. Like he had someone on one day and they were talking about the Chaz zone and they were like, yeah, they like took over the police precinct and there was guns and there was this and there was that. That just wasn't it at all. Like they chose to
Mhm.
leave type shit, you know? Um but yeah, it's just crazy. And speaking about that podcast, shout out to Joe Rogan. Hopefully one day I can get on that shit and just get
Shit.
out, get to the universe, bro. Cause
Mhm.
yeah, he's dope. He's
Dude,
dope.
he actually he lets people interview him sometimes too. Like I don't know how
Yeah.
often he did it, but like a few months into quarantine, like he's probably associated with these guys somehow, but like
Hmm.
he did like a Zoom interviews with these two guys, and it was
Mm.
cool because it was like his picture with like the American flag and then them on the other side. I was like,
Right,
holy
right.
shit, from a different perspective. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild. That's wild. I need to check that out because yeah, I haven't seen that. That
Hmm.
yeah, that would be a crazy perspective. You
Yeah.
know?
Dude, I used to be obsessed with the Breakfast Club, and like their fucking interviews have
Yeah.
gone downhill so
Yeah.
much. And
Yeah.
Charlemagne, he just does not give a fuck anymore. Like you can just see that he wants to quit. But
Yeah.
he has a podcast with Andrew Schultz. Have you
Oh,
listened to
does he
that at
really?
all?
No, no, I didn't even know.
Oh my god, dude! It's called The Brilliant Idiots. It's
Okay.
It's probably one of my. It's like it goes Joe Rogan, and then have you seen Anchorman?
Yeah.
Will Ferrell has this podcast called the Ron Burgundy Podcast, where
No,
he's
he
like in
doesn't, bro.
he's in character the entire
Yo,
time, and he just has random fucking artists and fucking musicians, and it's crazy. All these random people on. It's really funny.
that's hella funny,
Yeah.
bro. Okay, damn. Yeah, I'm about to check that out. Yeah.
Yes, and then it goes, and then it's Joe Rogan, Ron Burgundy, and then it goes
hmm
to Brilliant Idiots because they and Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz have been on Joe together. Have you seen that episode?
I did. Oh yeah, Andrew Schultz. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't putting the name to the face. Yeah, yeah, skinnier white dude that was
Mm-hmm.
on. What was that show back in the day? It was
Oh,
like, you know
Charlemagne
what
was
I'm
on
talking
it
about?
too. The
Yeah,
men
yeah,
code or something. Boy,
yeah. Guy
something
code,
code.
guy
Guy
code,
code.
guy code. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. That's where he's from. But I did see that episode actually because they talked about aliens at one section. They talked about yeah, they were talking about a lot. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not to cut you off though.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get excited about
Mm-hmm.
that type of shit. So yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I watch a lot of like comedy podcasts and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. With the, like comedians put on the shit. Just cause like I like to laugh and stuff like that, and like perspective from like a comedian's perspective on the world is always very like raw, uncut, and just funny.
It's
You
fucking
know?
dark though. A lot of them are really fucking
Yeah,
dark.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I pay attention to Chris D'Elia a lot. Um, who else? Like his whole like Brian Callen and like
Mm-hmm.
the fighter and the kid. Um, who else? Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee's
Um,
hilarious as fuck.
hella funny, hella funny. Um, bro, have you seen his wife? Hold on. Well, put a pause on this. Have you
Oh
seen his wife?
no, let me see his voice. Is she hot or something?
Yo, she's bad as hell. Like I never would have thought Bobby Lee could get a could get someone like that.
Oh,
But I
what the
mean,
fuck?
hey, anything is possible. Yeah, bro.
Look at
Yeah.
her. Dude,
Crazy,
he looks like he's
crazy.
Down syndrome, and then she's just like, oh my,
Right.
that's
Like she's
funny as
babysitting
fuck.
him. Yeah, bro, it's
Holy
just
shit.
crazy. Yeah, but like I watch like a lot of that shit. Um, but yeah, definitely always go back. I circle back to like Joe Rogan and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Bro, he just had who's the hold on. Let me see, cause he's like a magician.
Oh, I just watched that today. David Blaine.
Yeah, bro, did you see him stick
Fucking
the ice pick in his
frog.
arm?
Oh my, I just
Yeah,
saw
bro,
that today.
what
I was
the
like, what
fuck?
the fuck?
Yo, I'm like, I was trying to watch that, and I just couldn't. Joe's like freaking out. He's like, yo, what the fuck? Like the whole entire time he's
And then
doing
he's
that,
like,
like,
it's magic. I'm like, how the fuck is that magic? You just stuck an ice pick through your
yeah,
arm.
what? Like he was real delusional. Like that shit was crazy. But and then like he didn't even get it all the way in the first time,
And he's like,
and he
you
was
hit my nerve.
like yeah. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Don't do that. Just don't do it. But yeah, man, that shit's always entertaining. Yeah, he has some hella good people on there. I wonder how he
Mhm.
goes about and like finds the people. You know, I wonder if he's like actually connected with all of them, or
Mhm.
it's like yeah, I don't know.
I want to know, like, because I don't usually ever like look up that. Like sometimes I look up the people that he's had on, but sometimes I don't really do like a deep dive. But
Yeah,
I wonder if any of these people are literally just like normal people that he just puts on, or if they all have to
right,
be like a certain level of celebrity or a certain level of like knowledge. Because like
right,
some of
exactly.
these people I've like never heard of in my entire life,
Ever. Like
and like
there
he just
was
has them
one.
on.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was like this one blonde lady. She's like she studies ancient like medical practices and shit.
Huh.
And so like she's a doctor, but I guess like her Twitter is super big because he kept mentioning like, oh yeah, on your Twitter feed, on your Twitter feed, on your Twitter feed, and I was like, okay, let me just check this out. And she has a huge following, so I don't know how she does as a doctor, but
Mm-hmm.
she does. So I'm thinking it's like you have to be at some sort of celebrity status, you know, in order to get onto the show or something like that. I
Or
don't know.
what if they have like only 100 followers, and then just because he's like, oh, your Twitter feed, then all of his followers
Right.
just fucking hop on theirs, and then by the time you look,
Exactly.
like, because sometimes I don't watch an episode until like the next day, So that gives those fucking because within like a day he's already gets like 1 million views.
Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
like, maybe like he only need like even like 100,000 out of that 2 million views, a fuck ton of people to have on your
Yeah.
social media.
Definitely is. Definitely is. Like that's to get onto that would be probably like one of like the biggest promotion pieces that you could probably use. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Cause like he just had Post Malone on there too.
Dude, that was
Um,
so funny. I actually think that was
yeah,
a really good interview.
it definitely was. It definitely was. I'm almost finished with it. But yeah, no, that was a really good interview. Like, cause like he got Joe laughing and stuff like that. Joe was all loose. He was drinking, smoking.
Dude, they were on
They
shrooms.
yeah. He said he was on shrooms. I don't know if he really was, or
He
if that
brought it
was
up in
just
another
like,
interview too, so I think they actually were.
oh wow, dude. Yeah, I bet that was lit. Um, and then yeah, Post was just like chilling. Like yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy, dude. There was an interview. Um, what's his name? He's like David Cho or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He he's like an Asian dude. Did you see that interview?
Mm-hmm.
You saw that
I've
one?
seen them all. I remember his name. Remind me about it. Remind me what happened in that one, because I remember the
So
name.
so so he was talking about like he's an artist. He's a painter, and he
Oh
just like
yeah, and he went to
yeah
fucking like Jamaica, or not like with the like
Brazil,
he was like
South
running with the
America.
yeah.
Yeah. He went to South America looking for a dinosaur, like when he was like
Yeah.
19 or 20 or something like that, and then like had those crazy stories. Like, bro, I was listening to that like while I was working, and I work at a desk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like trying to like look at the screen, but I'm like I'm glued to this shit. Like his stories are just crazy. Like that shit, yeah. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was yeah. He has some really dope people on there.
He
Yeah,
does. He fucking does. Sometimes they get too dark for him, even though, and then he's like,
for
"Oh,
real.
okay, buddy,
Yeah,
you good?"
yeah. Like we need to take a minute, you know.
Yeah, but dude, that's fucking dope. And have you listened to Bill Burr's podcast before?
Is it like the one when he's on stage, like on the couch or whatever?
I've only seen, I've only listened to it. I don't know if is there like a video one of him doing it or
Yeah. There's like a video one. But I haven't really watched it too much. I watch his stand up though,
dude, his stand
but
up is dark as fuck.
it's hella dark. It's hella dark, but that's why it's so funny though.
Yeah,
You know, because it's just like real shit. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fucking podcast. I literally probably listen to podcasts like 6 hours a day. Like
Same.
I spend
Yeah.
so much time like what I do, even though I'm still like building my name throughout Seattle and everything, I'm always trying to compare myself to a Joe Rogan or a Charlemagne and like
Yeah.
tweaking my
Yeah.
sounds and stuff. Cause like some people's podcasts sound like
Hmm.
they're talking through a fucking like soup can or some shit. And it just
Interesting.
sounds
Yeah.
awful, you
Right,
know?
right. And to speak about fucking like bro, this is all just like interviews
Yes.
that I have.
Yes.
Like, bro,
Yes.
it just keeps
Fuck.
going. Like, yeah. But yeah, no, dude, going back to what you just said, like listening to theirs to like tweak your sound and make it better. That's the same shit I do with my music. Like
Mhm.
I will sit down, like I got a whole bunch of different YouTube or not YouTube, but music videos I gotta watch and listen to, and different like albums and stuff like that I've saved for this weekend. Just because I will sit down, and I've always done this. I sit down and like study them and like take notes, like either mentally or on paper, and see what they do rhythmically or see what they do like with the melodies or like the song structure or what the beat is doing at a certain time when they say this thing, and because everything like it's all the like the little finite details that make the entire song and make it your favorite song, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, I definitely feel you on that, you know,
Dude, there's
taking notes.
some dope ass fucking videographers out here in Seattle too. Like,
Yeah.
I still haven't met him, and I'm really jealous he hasn't responded to me. But
Uh-huh.
do you know who Justin Frick is? He like he does the music videos for like Macintosh and Ellis Prescott and Karma Knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
Carmen Oates' videos are crazy.
yeah, it's all done by the same guy. It's like I think his first name's Justin, but like it's like where
Okay.
it's like the fishbowl and the eyeball in it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, those
Mhm.
are fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
so many
There's some.
creative
There's some
people out
hella.
here.
I was just gonna say, there's so many talented people out here, and that's why, like, I feel like Seattle can be on the forefront of everything. It just like we all need to come together type shit. Because like you look at like places like L.A. or like New York, Atlanta, a huge example, Texas, um, even like Detroit and stuff like that. Like in Chicago, like it's like every other city, like everybody comes together and they all like create this entire push, and then they all get their own limelight at one point or another, you
Mm.
know. But it's like out here, everyone's trying to get like their own limelight off the bat, and it's like no one's breaking through that glass ceiling, you know.
Because I think it's like I have no idea how many people there are or how many artists there are in Seattle, but it's like a 1 in a million chance of actually that working. Like the only one who's really worked for is like Little Mosey. He's like the only
Yeah,
one that's actually like worked for, but it doesn't really
yeah,
work for anyone. So I don't think people should like you can look up to him as an inspiration because like how where he got at such a young age. But
mm-hmm,
no one should think they can copy exactly what he did because at that point I don't know his background that much, but he definitely had to have some
mm-hmm.
type of connection to blow up at 17, you know.
He did. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because I do have a lot of details, just because I like kind of close with his family and stuff like that. We could definitely talk
Oh.
off air about it, but yeah, no, definitely did. There was definitely
Hmm.
that background help.
But I always hear like up and coming artists like there's a difference between like up and coming artists and artists who just started. Like artists who
Mhm.
just started, they
Mhm.
always try to look to like Little Mosey as their inspiration. And I'm like,
Exactly.
that's not that's literally like impossible to get to that point at that young.
Exactly.
It's you can't copy. I don't think no one's come up story is exactly the same unless you somehow
Yeah.
have the exact same manager and you're in a boy
Mhm.
band or some shit. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Like and the time is different too. And like for instance, how he got it was like just knowing the right person at the right time, and that person is no longer even, you know, um, alive. Rest in peace.
Mm,
You know, but like just right timing, like and to copy that, like you just can't, you know. So like you got to find your own path, you know, and
mm,
that's what I'm doing. Like it's always been, I got to find what works for me, because even taking a Mosey route or a Macklemore route or whoever's route, it just doesn't work. Like I'm someone, I have to do it my way, and my way is gonna work out. I'm gonna get it to work out, but it got to be my way, you
mm.
know. So
What I do think though, I have all these like random like hip hop conspiracies I just think of randomly
mhm,
just because I'm so in love with hip hop. But there's actually so many like mainstream artists who live in Seattle that people
mhm,
just don't recognize.
yeah,
Like they probably have like there's probably just fucking bat caves of artists like
yeah,
even think of like even like the
for
little
real.
even like the cocaine thing like that's so random. I feel like
Mhm,
there's
yeah,
so many big artists that are just here and no one like or even like Justin Bieber being here, you know,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
his pastor or something lives in Bellevue or some shit, so he has like a
Oh
Bellevue Club
wow.
membership and like my friends have been in the sauna with him and shit.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. Um, yeah, like fucking Wale comes out here a lot. I was in the studio session with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he invited me to his concert. I got to the concert they had back in whatever before the quarantine this year. They had that concert with it was Deontay Hitchcock who I interviewed,
yeah.
and then Wale, and then I think he goes by Ade now. It was Phil Ade, and now he goes by
Okay.
Ade, and
Huh.
Wale like helped him rise to fame also.
That's
But
what's up.
yeah,
That's
Wale's
what's up.
always here, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Cause he got family out here.
Oh wow.
And so yeah, so like that's like part of the draw as well. But yeah, bro, there's a lot of people that come out here. Lil Wayne was out here. Um, do you know Robert Lang Studios? Are you familiar with that?
Mm-mm.
So Robert Lang Studios it's a studio. It's a studio out in like Shoreline.
Hmm.
What beach is that? It's like right next to a beach. Richmond Beach. Richmond Beach.
Hmm.
If you know where that's at. And so Robert Lang, he's the owner, and he pretty much recorded everybody from like Nirvana, Bob Marley, who was it?
Oh yeah, I've
One of
heard of this
one of the
guy.
Marley brothers. Yeah, and like he's done the Foo Fighters, everything, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm still in touch with him. And so Lil Wayne came out one time and everything like that, like late at night, like had like the van pull up, got in hella quick, did his thing, got out hella quick, like super incognito, didn't let anybody know.
Shit.
But it's like shit happens all the time out here. It's just people don't see it. There's like levels to it,
Hmm.
you know. But yeah, just don't see it.
You know what is kind of weird
Hmm.
is fucking like the Kendrick Lamar crowd and like the A$AP Rocky crowd and the Tyler the Creator crowd. They're all very connected, even though they're from completely different cities. Like Kendrick's from like
Yeah,
California, and then
yeah,
fucking A$AP Rocky, and I think yeah, A$AP Rocky's from New York. I don't. Tyler the
yeah,
Creator is from California, right? Where's he
yeah,
from?
yeah, yeah. He's from Cali.
But then like it's weird that how I found out about Tyler the Creator was because he was on Schoolboy Q's Oxymoron album. So I had no idea
Interesting.
who he was before that. And he was like the chorus for one song, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then
Right.
fucking then Kendrick Lamar was on A$AP Rocky's first album, the One
Mhm.
Train song and fucking Problems.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are all
Wow.
these different cities just connect? And then like Schoolboy Q was on Cherry Bomb, like I think he was like one or
Yeah.
two songs, and it's just like and then fucking somehow Pharrell gets mixed in with all those guys too. I'm like,
Exactly. Cause I think Pharrell he's also a producer, and
mm-hmm,
so like he's just like in the studio and stuff like that with a lot of these artists, which would be dope. I'd love to have a studio session with him. You would learn so much.
mm-hmm,
Um, but yeah, man, I wonder how and what connects all them. Maybe it's just the timing because they all kind of came out at the same time, like around the same time frame. You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? So it's like just like reaching out to different people and all that. But it's funny to see ASAP Rocky and Tyler the Creator's like relationship. Like they're
It's so
like best
funny.
friends. Yeah, but they're like
Yeah.
hella different. But like yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
works. It's funny.
I wish Seattle like. So my favorite rappers, it's always like switching. Like, have you ever done like the Spotify thing where it shows you who you listen to? Like at the end, like the wrap up, it shows you who
Yeah.
you listen to the most.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
each year, it's a fight between like the Game and Lil Wayne. Like it switches between one and two for me.
Interesting. Interesting.
And I think it's so crazy. Like the Game has helped so many artists, and I wish we had like at least one artist who actually like would put everyone on in like Seattle. Like I feel like that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Like the Game, like a father figure, like not someone who's just
Yeah.
like giving everyone like like the Game doesn't in a way where he like puts people on his albums and it's like really helpful in that way. It's not like it's just like handouts. But we don't
Mhm.
really have like because Macklemore does like the residency, which is kind of cool. But you
Mhm.
have to like after you reach 21 or something, you can't be in it anymore, or it might even be
Interesting.
earlier. But you don't really see Macklemore putting on just random artists in Seattle. But then the Game,
Yeah.
who'll have just like street guys on his like albums,
Yeah.
and they'll just
Exactly.
destroy a track. I'm like, holy shit.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, no, I pay attention to that a lot, especially when it came to like Nipsey. Like he's one of my favorite artists, like one of
Mm-hmm.
my top artists. Always been for like 10 years plus. Um, but like he put on like his entire like neighborhood and then also like surrounding like hoods and stuff like that, where it's like different artists and younger artists too, like Bino. Do you know who Bino Ridox is?
Shit, dude. I fucking. Do you know who Gundes Garson is?
Sounds hella familiar.
He
Hella familiar.
his somehow or another I got connected with his manager and I interviewed him, and then fucking he's also manages Bino, and then something happened where I kept playing phone tag with Bino, but I never got an actual interview with him. But he was
I'm
like,
dead.
when he was like, because his manager gave me this like whole spiel about, oh, you should interview Bino. He's the only guy to have a full joint album with Nipsey Hussle and all this shit. And I was like,
Facts.
holy fuck, that's
Facts.
fire.
Yeah, yeah. That was that one of the songs is like effortless. What's the name of that? Hold on. I gotta see that.
Mm.
Cause yeah, yeah, Nipsey put him on, signed him to the label,
Mm.
and now Bino's like he has like his own like little label and stuff like that, and he's doing his own thing. Um but he's definitely someone who inspires my music as well too.
His
Like
newest
his
album was
sound is
pretty
just
fire. It came out like during quarantine too.
yeah, yeah, outside.
Yeah, you know who else is on that album? Fucking Ty Dolla
Who?
Sign, of course.
Exactly, exactly. Of course, of course. It wouldn't be right, right?
I know, man.
um, what is that? Oh yeah, No Pressure.
Mm,
Was the name of that tape? The
yeah,
the
yeah.
joint tape that they did.
But
Yeah,
yeah, there's just so many people are connecting. That we just like literally all the cities in general, all the music cities
mm,
are connected. Whether it's L.A., any of those guys, even fucking
exactly,
Detroit, you know.
exactly,
But then you
exactly.
look at Seattle. We're just here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're like an island just floating. Like doing our own thing the
It's
wrong
like
way. Like
it's like how Joe Rogan was talking about. He always makes jokes about like how Idaho is like where no one. It's like a secret because it's like such a great place, but no one wants anyone to
yeah,
know that. It's
yeah,
like
exactly,
Seattle is like a great place for music, but all the big artists don't want anyone else to know. So they do like the Little Wayne
exactly.
thing, get in their fucking van, record a song, and then leave.
Right, exactly, exactly. Hella incognito, in and out type shit. Like, yeah, and like shows here, and I want to get your perspective on this.
Mhm.
How do you feel like shows here compared to shows like elsewhere in like different cities and stuff like that? Like, do you feel like crowd interaction is good out here? Do you feel like it? What?
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. What's the vibe that you get?
I've been to a few different shows. I've been to shows in Canada, even stuff like that, like out of the country.
Mm, mm-hmm,
And the one when it comes first, I'll talk about like underground shows. The first
mm-hmm,
thing when it
mm-hmm.
comes to underground shows, the thing I feel like it's only a Seattle thing too. Maybe it's in other cities, but my
Uh-huh.
biggest pet peeve is when fucking artists have it's probably like one of their friends or something DJ and they're not even fucking DJing
Yeah,
and it's like just shit
yeah.
music and like they're so bad that a song will like stop in the middle and they'll be like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry guys, let me, let me
Yeah,
start the
yeah,
song back up. Like
yeah,
there's like no real DJs and then I'm like, what the fuck is
exactly.
going on? That's my biggest pet peeve at underground shows. But like the underground shows at the same time, like the venues here for underground
Hmm.
shows are sick. They're like
Yeah,
crazy.
definitely, definitely. Like Columbia City Theater. Studio Seven
Mm-hmm.
was cool for a minute. Like that's where I did all of my early shows at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trying to think where else. There's a place called like the High Dive in like Fremont area.
Have you been to the
Um,
warehouse?
no, where's that at?
Oh fuck, I don't even know. Nah, you put me on the spot now. I went there for the
Yeah.
I interviewed Little House Phone there. He
See, that's funny, bro. He's from LA. He's from
yeah,
like No
yeah,
Jumper and all that type of shit.
yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. We're all like everybody's connected, but
I
yeah, it's
haven't even
crazy.
put that interview out. That was the most upsetting interview I've ever had in my entire life. He was
You said
complete.
upsetting?
Yes, it broke
Damn.
me. he fucking was. He was completely like. So first, we had planned this 3 months in advance.
Right.
Day of, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna have to wait till after the show," even though we had it planned before the show. First, it
Mhm.
was gonna be at my studio. Then we moved it to
Mhm.
the venue, and then it was
Mhm.
after he got on, and he
Mhm.
came. He came late to the show because he was like, "Okay, I'll be there at 8." Then he came there at
Mhm.
10. Had like
Wow.
he drank like 240s,
Wow.
smoked, was completely destroyed, and then we go into like there's like this VIP section, which it's literally just like an upstairs room and they just call it a VIP section. It was
Right.
like I
Right.
don't know why who would pay to go into that room. It was shabby as fuck.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it was so short that like when we got in there, he hit his head on this like light bar, like those like lights, and it fucking
Yeah.
shattered. And then he picked up
Wow.
another one and shattered it. and then
Wow.
and then I was like, yeah, so I brought you in here because I think it's very inspiring when LA artists come down here, and I just want to
Mhm.
get your perspective on Seattle. This is a Seattle-based podcast, and he's like,
Mhm.
if this is for Seattle artists, why am I here? I'm not from Seattle. I'm like, what the fuck? I just explained it to you.
What? Exactly.
And then they gave me like 10 minutes, and they're like, oh, we gotta go now. And then I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Wow.
I planned this 3 months
Wow.
in advance with you. And then that was it. So I haven't even put it out yet. And that was back in fucking October. I was like,
Damn.
I'm just gonna put it out. I'm gonna get to a point in my podcast where I'm gonna
Mhm.
be like, NAST podcast, terrible interview. You know, like you know how like
Yeah,
they do that,
exactly.
like a TMZ
Exactly.
type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Exactly.
just throw it up. I'm just gonna hold it into my like archive of interviews.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what would be cool is like if you had like a like more. It wouldn't be cool if you had more interviews like that. But like if there was other interviews that were not great interviews, you made like a compilation and shit like that. It
Yes.
like got like behind the scenes type shit of
Yes.
like you looking at the camera like, bro, what the fuck, like
Yes.
you know? Yeah,
But
but
yeah, the
man,
thing about like concerts and stuff here, I really love that there are so many venues, and like it literally seems like when artists come to town from like out of town,
hmm
it seems like they know the venues too. And it's
yeah,
always like exciting when I'm like, oh shit, they're actually playing at this venue, which I thought was like an underground venue, but they know this
yeah,
place enough that they want to perform there. Or fucking
yeah,
Wale performing at Numos when he could have easily
yeah.
performed at like WAMU or some shit.
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
that's what I like about Seattle.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just thinking about that, like Numos, Wale fits that vibe because, like, I don't know if you've seen like the Tiny Desk interview with him, like
Oh
performing.
shit.
I think it was like in DC or something, but it was really intimate, and he had like the band behind him, and I could just see him. Like, I didn't go to that Numos show, but I could see how that like fits because it's just
Mhm.
so intimate, underground, darkness,
Yeah.
red lighting type shit, like good vibes. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
What I do think though is like when you the artist that I feel like there should definitely be more than one artist blowing up at a time in Seattle because there's so many
For
talented
sure,
people.
for
But
sure.
when an artist does blow up in Seattle, they either get a fuck ton of connections or
hmm
they're on Ellen. Like either
For
way, if you
sure.
blow up in Seattle, like you have like a huge spotlight under your belt or like a million fucking connections.
Yeah.
Like I just sent her like it was like, Jesus, we both have something in our throat. God damn.
Right.
So but like a few months ago into quarantine, I interviewed Black Soul, who's from
Okay.
Tacoma,
Mhm.
and he's working with like Loot, who's part of Dreamville. And
Mhm.
like last week, he posted on his Instagram that he made it onto the fucking Madden 20 track, 2020, 2021 like
Jesus.
soundtrack and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like he's been invited to like the Grammys and shit. So like he's like hella
Wow.
connected. And then like Little Mosey is like, and for fucking Jay Park, they all those guys have like millions of followers.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
fucking Travis Thompson's on fucking Ellen. And
Yeah.
then
Exactly.
I'm like, it's like crazy. Like when you make it out of Seattle, you like completely make it. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. Which is good. That's a good thing because it's like you can make it in LA, but you could be like another. And don't get me wrong, when I say their names, there's some people I've been listening to for a long time. Like I
Mhm.
appreciate the music, but like another RJ, like
Yeah.
Mr. LA. I don't know if you know who that is.
RJ, dude, I love that guy. I was just listening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So like he's made it, but it's like he's not doing the Ellen shows or like BET
mm-hmm,
ciphers or anything like that. Like getting on Madden or nothing like that.
mm-hmm,
So it's like there's like a glass ceiling. You
mm-hmm.
know, but he's on tracks with like Young Thug and shit,
Or YG
like
even,
kicking it.
dude.
Yeah, yeah, and like kicking out their houses and shit like that. So it's a weird balance, but coming from Seattle, that's a good thing. I like it.
Yeah,
You know.
that is weird. I don't know. I feel like I'm happy I grew up here.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
for sure, for sure. I always say like if you can make it out of Seattle, you can make it anywhere. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just because it's so like not that it's a hard area to grow up in, but it's hard to come up and be successful like you would be successful like either coming from like the South or like East Coast or California or something like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because just the resources aren't always there. You gotta find the pieces. It's like a puzzle.
But I do hate when people like try to use Seattle as an excuse, like whether it's the rain or there's not enough connections here. I feel like that's total
Mhm.
bogusness. The only
Mhm.
people I feel like some people actually do need to leave Seattle because they like reach their glass ceiling, like like
Yeah.
like like
Yeah.
like Macklemore did or some shit.
Mhm.
Like when people coming up are like, oh, I need to move out of here because of the rain or because there's not the
Yeah.
connections I need. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's so many
Right.
like, and the connections come here too. Like before the quarantine, like I was interviewing like maybe 2 to 3 artists from out of town a month because they were just
Wow.
touring so much here. And now I can just
Mhm.
I could just like hit their managers up here, like on Zoom. But like I'm saying, there's like so many people come to Seattle. It's like nuts.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, that goes back to our conversation, like Wale, Lil Wayne, fucking, like YG coming out here all the time and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
like one of my homegirls, she's older, but she used to live in she used to live in LA, and then she moved to Everett. And so for whatever reason, back before YG blew up, YG used to live in Everett. Yeah, and so like he used to like kick it with like her and her people and everything like that. And so it's like, bro, like there's like this hidden like backside to Washington, bro. It's like Washington with the shit, but it's like hella hidden at the same time. You know?
Dude.
Crazy.
It's fucking nuts. And then I'm telling you, anytime Joe Rogan brings up Seattle, I'm like, oh, I'm from there.
Yeah, like that's me. Hey,
it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, bro. He's moving to Texas.
Yeah, I feel like he's still gonna get a lot of guests that come out to Texas because he's fucking Joe Rogan.
For sure. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know where his studio was at in LA, but I'm sure
it was
like
huge.
Was it? Have you been there?
It was like I haven't been there, but I looked it up on Google Maps. It's
like
a fucking
right.
It's like a full-on building. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure it's all his too. Like it's just for his studio.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I'm sure. Like, probably have so many offices to like edit the videos and come up with different content and research and all the other stuff. Yeah, that's crazy.
I hope he keeps it there. What if he turns it into like the Joe Rogan Museum? I would go to that.
Yeah, I'd definitely go. I would definitely go. He's at a level to where he could do that.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he would get a lot of people going.
Especially with that fucking Spotify deal, man.
Yeah, bro. He blew up with that shit. Like I don't know. Wait, has it gone into effect yet?
No, it's so he's giving people, him and Spotify are giving people until January, I think, to completely transfer over, because at that point, I think he's going to keep all the old clips and everything on YouTube, if that's my understanding. But there's not going to be any new clips on YouTube, anything like that. Spotify is like, they're literally like revamping Spotify. I don't know if it's just for Joe Rogan, but they're making it.
Is there going to be videos?
Yeah, so that's what they're doing for
Interesting.
Spotify.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's like I don't think anyone's ever gotten that big of a Spotify deal. He's probably making more than fucking Drake and shit just from.
Yeah.
And Drake is probably one of the biggest artists on Spotify too.
Oh, for sure.
He's making it off a podcast. That's how much. $100 million on a podcast. That's
on a podcast.
Nuts.
On a fucking podcast. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he's so humble about it too, because like I remember he was talking about it with one of his guests, and he's like, "Yeah, got a Spotify deal." And it's like, bro, like you got a Spotify deal. Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, he was making just off like YouTube. He has like 2 channels. He has the JRE Clips channel, and then like the actual JRE channel. And both those channels are monetized. So he makes so much, and they're 2 separate channels, and they each get millions of views. Like he was making so much money off YouTube, so they had to come up with a deal that was that much money.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking
power
nice.
move. That's a power move.
Yeah. It's crazy shit. So is there anything that you've been learning during this quarantine? I know I've been learning a lot of different shit.
Hell yeah. A lot on the business side is just being careful of who I work with, the type of people that I need in my circle in order to be successful. I learned how to like manage money a lot better, budget, finances. I learned how to, a lot of personal growth shit, like getting over like a lot of past traumas and everything like that. Coming to terms with myself. I think fully loving myself and accepting myself, for who I am. And then also like on the music side, just like manipulating my voice, because like in the album, like the song "No Love," for instance, that's me all the way through, but it sounds like when I show it people the first time, they're like, "Bro, who is this?" And like the homies was like, that's not you, you know. But I'm like, yeah, no, that's really me, just like manipulating my voice. So I think during this quarantine, you know, took it to the next level. So like these next batch of songs are gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be
There you
crazy.
go.
Yeah,
Are people recording music videos at all right now, or is that like not even
yeah,
a thing?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah, yeah. People, yeah. I just shot two videos. I shot one with one of my bros. I want to say like 2 weeks ago, and then another one like that same week. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah. People doing a lot. It's just like you gotta, you really gotta reach out to people now. Now's the perfect time to reach out. You know, because like everyone's just sitting. People need something to do. People want something to do. People want money in their
Mm.
pockets. So like, make shit shake. You know.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah.
Well, Bobby Brooks, what is some advice that you have for up and coming artists,
Mm,
creators, influencers?
mm. Be yourself. And I know that's cliche, but like entirely be yourself and figure out a way if you want to do what you want to do for a living, whatever you love doing, figure out how to monetize it. You know, figure out how to make money off of it because you can make money off anything, bro. Girls are doing OnlyFans. You can make money doing anything. You know what I
It's
mean?
so
So
true.
like, yeah. Um, and just push, man. It's all about who you know. Like it's about skill too. It's about talent. It's about your drive and work ethic and everything. But it's about who you know. So like put in the groundwork. Go to different meetings. Reach out to people on social media. Um, and just keep moving. Keep the feet moving.
Hmm.
So,
And what's the easiest way for people to reach you?
Instagram. Reach out to my Instagram at King Brooks Baby. Yeah, yeah. Reach out before it's too late because you know who's
Hmm.
blowing up soon. So yeah.
And anything you want to promote?
Yeah, my newest album that's out, Soul Tapes, out on all platforms. Videos coming out, so subscribe to the YouTube channel, Bobby Brooks. Um, got like little clips on there and stuff like that. So yeah, get at me.
Dope. Well,
Yes, sir.
this is the NAST podcast with.
Bobby Brooks, aka King Brooks.
There we go.